This opened at 5 or 5.5, around that number, kind of falling down as the week has gone on. We have 3 on the board, kind of depending on where you look in your books and who you're betting on is the number you'll pick. This is going to be I feel like this is going to be a different kind of the game than we've seen. We've seen higher scoring ones in recent years. We've seen teams with more high-powered offenses. Not saying Michigan can't score points, not saying Ohio State can't, but usually when you go into these games, you're talking about the offenses. How about these defenses, right? I think that's where this whole thing starts. Parks, let's talk about this one a little bit. I know you'll be buckled in paying attention to it because in a lot of ways, that being you both had 2 Big Ten teams. We both, needed this to kind of be a tie to like tie into our predictions. We're not in that situation now, but where we at now, I think is still good for the Big Ten.
Yeah, what a massive game. This is the Big Ten title, right? I mean, JP, can we admit it? This is the Big Ten title.
No.
Yeah, it's the Big Ten title.
Come on. No, you got to win in Indianapolis. Come on.
Big Ten title spread's going to be 17.5.
Yeah, these teams, I mean, this is
I will,
top of
17.5, lay them. It'll be 21.
I mean, okay, the pre-Big Ten title game.
Thank you.
What a game. Thank you. What a spot. I think it comes down to one simple thing. Can Ohio State's defense come through when it comes down to getting stops? I mean, they did it at Notre Dame. That's why they had a chance to win that game at the end. It's an offense that's not as persistent as what they've had in the past. So it's going to come down to their defense. Can they force turnovers out of J.J. McCarthy? Can they limit Blake Corum? Can they limit Donovan Edwards, who I think is a better back overall than Blake Corum? Ohio State, I don't know if they can get it done. It's a tough spot being in the big house. I think the spread's in a perfect spot. I think Michigan edges it. They're going to complete the perfect season. So give me Michigan at home.
Reese, what are you thinking? I don't know where your mind went.
So I wrote down for this one, like Parksy, like looking at this one, it's like we're sitting at the roulette table, and you know how we just love betting red or black, and we're looking at the board, we're like, oh, we saw 2 reds in a row. We're like, okay, now it's going black. Okay, then we're gonna bet black heavy. So, and I also hate this narrative that Michigan is somehow Big Brother now when they won 2 in a row, when Ohio State previously had won 16 of 17. I don't know if you guys knew that said or not, but Ohio State won 16 of 17 the last one. So like, I just saw it go to black twice. So now I'm hammering on red and I'm putting everything on it. That's where my mind's at for this one. I'm tired of the narrative that Ryan Day isn't a good coach, that they're a little brother now. And also when Harbaugh's saying that they're America's team, shut up, dude. You cheated and you got caught cheating. Nobody cheers for the Houston Astros. They got caught cheating. You're not America's team. Shut up. That's so annoying to me. I hate that narrative. I don't hate Michigan, but I hate what he's saying. Dude, I want Ohio State to win so bad this weekend. Also, I have them as my national title, so I need them to win. But I want Ohio State to win so bad this weekend. Give me Ohio State, dude. I'm at the roulette table hammering red this weekend. I'm hammering red.
You're like Desmond Howard if he was Ohio State fan. Like Desmond Howard, just all he does is bash Ohio State, and then just it's like Michigan. You're the opposite of that right now. It's pretty funny.
I haven't talked that high about Ohio State all year, but just ever since this shit came out with Stallions, I can't stand Michigan right now.
Oh, Schaefer, I mean, Parks talked about what I thought was going to be the big key in this situation. Reese just popped off. I don't know how we follow this and talk about this
wild card, baby.
You could go ahead and try.
I will try. That was great, Reese. That was an awesome analogy.
It's from right here. It's from here.
Listen, when I talk about this game, everybody kind of knows my thoughts. I feel like if you've been listening the last at least 3 weeks of the podcast, I'm still on Michigan. Like, I'm not going to change it. And given the circumstances, I'm still going to stick to my guns because I think that Michigan, they do so many things in different ways and they can win in so many different ways. Like, for instance, McCarthy hasn't thrown a touchdown in 3 games. Okay, let's go back to the Purdue game. I mean, the guy was 24, 37, 335. He didn't have a touchdown. Like, it doesn't really matter that he's throwing touchdowns. I heard it on every single podcast that it's this big deal. And I'm not even a J.J. McCarthy guy. Like, I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. But I think when he's called upon on Saturday, I think he can get it done. My worry is, like, the pressure of Tulamaloau. Like, that kind of concerns me. But I trust this run game. If they have to run it 10 times in a row, they will. I think Roman Wilson and Colson Loveland are serviceable on the outside for them to throw to. And everybody wants to talk about Moore and how this is his third game ever and he doesn't have any idea what he's getting into. Why don't we change the narrative a little bit? Like, maybe this is a head coach in the making for a really long time, like with all the cheating stuff. And we probably think Harbaugh is gone after this year, just given probably they're going to have sanctions on their hands and everything like that. Maybe Moore is a guy who wins this football game, changes the narrative. Maybe he's Michigan's coach for the next 5, 6, 7 years. I don't think all of that casual takes about Ryan Day. I think he's an awesome coach. I think Ohio State's really good. Those takes, Reese, are valid because idiots love to say it. It's not true, even if he loses this football game. But I'm still going to stick to my guns. I think Michigan's going to win at home in probably another ugly one. So,
yeah, I'm in the same situation. I do like Michigan in this spot, and I have been looking forward to this game to see what the line was. But I'm not super confident in it. I think Ohio State has the ability to kind of change this. You get Travion Henderson, who's been really good in the run game. And has really helped that offense. You know what Michigan doesn't have, though, is a Marvin Harrison Jr. They don't have a absolute game breaker that McCord or that McCarthy can throw the ball to like McCord does. Can McCord get himself in a spot where it's not turnovers and it's not just bailout throws and he's feeling comfortable in the pocket? Because Michigan's defensive front is good. The offensive line of Ohio State's been better in years past. It's the same thing on the defensive front for Ohio State. That defensive front is good. Michigan's dealing with some injuries. They'll get a couple guys back this week who left the game last week. But, I mean, how do we twist this to make sure that McCord is in more of a prime position? I'm not sure. And then you plug him into the big house. It's a tough one. I'd like to see Ohio State win just because I think it would be interesting to see what Ryan Day would say after the game. But then at the same time, I'd take the 3 in the home team in this scenario. Don't love it. Not throwing any money on it, not super confident, but I'll take the home team and feel decent about it. So 3 Michigans and an Ohio State for the game. You know, we'll be buckled up for Fox Big Noon at 11 a.m. on Saturday for this one. It will be an absolute blast. So pumped to watch that one. Reese, you got something to finish this one up?
Over under on how many Maserati Marvs we're going to hear? 36?
Ooh, 36.
You're already
Maserati
we put an end to the Gus Johnson slander. He's good for the game.
No, I love Gus Johnson, but I'm saying if
right.
if I'm going to hear that 20 times, dude, it's going to get a little irritating by the 12th time, like, or the 6th time.
Fair enough.
Gus, come on.
I do think JP,
You're right.
JP, you made a very good point that I failed to mention. Kyle McCord, you've never been in a situation like this. You may have been on the sideline, you may have had your headset on, but to step on the field on the last Saturday in college football before conference championship week in Michigan, in the big house, you have never been in a situation like that. So that is a great storyline to follow. Good point, JP.